Okay, I'm online and on camera, and I think everyone can hear me. Let me send a note to my Discord. Note sent so they know I'm live. Let us. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn off the stream for just a second. And I am back. I have my dinner to my left, and I learned something. I actually ate something on stream a month or two ago, and I got so many complaints. It turns out people don't like the sound of someone eating. And I realized I totally understand why. I wouldn't like it either. So I have something in front of me, but if I take a bite, I will not show it, and you certainly won't hear it. Okay, so Discord knows I'm here. What is the topic for today? Today the topic is whiteboarding, and to just explore the topic a little bit, and also to play with some apps. Yesterday, I played with one called Markerpad, which is literally I just found out about yesterday as I was streaming. I'm gonna talk about that, and the author, the developer of Markerpad, might actually show up on the stream. So I'm hoping he does, because I have some questions and some feedback, and I'd like to just get his input. The other thing, I'm gonna pull up some notes here. You won't be able to see them, not quite yet anyway. And I have some notes put together that I used Google for, or one of the AIs, to talk about different kinds of features that might be in whiteboarding apps. Because I realized I use whiteboarding apps in a very specific way, and it may not be that my knowledge and my background applies to sort of the broader sense of what a whiteboarding app is. So give me a second. I saved my notes somewhere. Where is it? Okay, it's in a OneNote. And thanks to Voidouts, or Outs Void today. He is the first person to join the channel and leave a comment on the stream. Okay, let's get the notes. And let me turn on my background music. Of course, I forget to do that all the time. Where is it? View sound effects, I think it's called. There we go. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to move some windows around, so then I'm going to come right back. Oh, okay. We have Hera joining in. Nice to see you, as always, Hera. Hera, I'm really curious how you picked your name, which is now Heradia. What's the origin of that? Because when I think of Hera, I think of there was a show called Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, where Kevin Sorbo played Hercules. I love that show. I like Xena even better, but I vaguely remember that someone played Hera, his mother, who did not like Hercules. Let's see if I can find Meg Foster. Okay, she's a famous actress. She's very famous. So whenever I think of Hera, I'm going to find a picture of her in the show, actually. This is what I think about. Let's see. Hera in Hercules. The Legendary Journeys. Let's see if we can find a picture. Okay, we got a picture of Hera in this wiki. There's a YouTube problem, void outs. Oh, I see. That's why I was seeing Herodia. Oh, by the way, to me, this is Hera. She played the role, this woman, Meg Foster, played the role of Hera in Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. She was also in a movie I really like called They Live, with Rowdy Piper. But let's take a look at your comment more closely. YouTube is acting up again. All of our @ usernames are displayed in the chat now. What was displayed previously? You can choose a name? Okay. Oh, Hera has explained to me. Hera in Korean comes from a word that means do it. And the Hera is just a cool... I agree, Hera is a good name. The dia is either Spanish word for day, or say do it today. She is super cool. And one thing, I'm going to show you something. You got to find a picture of Meg Foster. Meg Foster has a very intense look because her eyes are really pale. And it's actually very, intimidating to see her. Let's see, Meg Foster. Eyes. Super famous. This is actually a good photo of a very young Meg Foster, but you can just see the eyes are incredibly pale. Previously with the channel name. I've actually never seen Meg Foster young, so this is a shock to me. But yeah, this is the era of Meg Foster when I knew her, right? And just incredibly pale eyes and just very, very powerful looking. So I really liked her in movies. Let's see. Herodia also sounds like a traditional Korean exclamation used in traditional songs. Basically, I picked Hera and my husband added it. Okay, well, it's a great choice. I love your name. But now you know what I think about it when I see it is Hera from this woman, actually. Specifically from that show, The Legendary Journeys. Okay. So thank you, Hera. You know, I always love when Hera joins the streams. Yes, her eyes are stunning. Absolutely. There's a couple of people who have really pale eyes. I notice it more with women, where it's almost hard to look at them because it's just such an intense look, right? Because it's overwhelming. Another one would be, her name is Alexandra something. Now, I'm gonna put my face on for a second because, trust me, you don't necessarily want to see every picture of, well, you might want to see the pictures. But here's another woman who has just incredibly intense eyes. Right? Let me just show the picture. I think Alexandra Daddario. Just it's intense. So these two remind me of each other a little bit. Alexandra Daddario. Okay, well, anyway, yes, Hera, thank you so much for joining, and it's always a pleasure. If anyone wants to know my favorite actress, number one, I think, is Cate Blanchett. She's amazing. Probably, I've loved her in everything I've seen her in. Lord of the Rings, what was the one? She played in a Woody Allen film too, which I really liked. But yeah, she is just intense. I love her. Also, Tilda Swinton, I really like her. She's probably the best actress that I can think of, and very versatile roles. I just watched her again in the first Doctor Strange movie. But I remember her from a movie in the 80s, 90s called Orlando. Very challenging role, to say the least, but I think you'll like it. Check it out. Okay, and talking about women actresses, so let's focus on what we really want to talk about, which is whiteboarding, right? And this is just the notes from, the whiteboarding, okay. I asked Google to think of some things, and I'll actually create a new page because it's just full of some cruft there. And we're going to start looking at apps. And again, the author of Marker app may actually show up. Now, actually, I'm glad Hera joined. I was hoping for it because, Hera, I think you use a lot of whiteboard apps. Is that right? And what I'd like to know is what you use. Oh, I always forgot about that. She was in Narnia. I totally forgot about that. She was also, she played the Archangel, it's kind of a gender swap. She played the Archangel Gabriel in the Keanu Reeves movie Constantine, which I love that movie as well. And she played an amazing, she tends to play kind of androgynous roles. She's got a little bit of that Annie Lennox thing going on. And so she's played like what would normally have been a male role in what is it? Doctor Strange, but she pulls it off. She's just got enough character in her. She can pull off a role like that, and you don't feel like it's a weird gender swap. You actually think like, oh, this actually kind of makes sense. The movie she was in called Orlando is in fact a movie entirely about, well, I don't want to get into it. It's maybe a controversial topic, but I really liked it. It was just very thought-provoking. And she was just amazing in it. Okay. Let me create a new note here. Let me move because I'll write down the names of some apps we're going to try tonight. Let's see, Harris says, I use digital whiteboards, not so much online apps. I use Microsoft Whiteboard for a bit, but I also try new things. I'm used to using smartboards. Are smartboards a physical device? Because you teach, is that correct? Yeah, Voidouts. That's exactly right. Orlando by Virginia Woolf. And there's a movie. Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. Orlando movie. So this is Tilda Swinton in Orlando, and it is a wild plot. I mean, it was a wild plot. Let's just go ahead and here, we can just read the plot. In 1600, nobleman Orlando, played by Tilda... Notice it says nobleman Orlando, played by Tilda Swinton, inherits his parents' house, thanks to Queen Elizabeth, who commands the young man to never change. After a disastrous affair with the Russian princess, Sasha, Orlando looks for solace in the arts before being appointed to the ambassador to Constantinople, where war is raging. This is the twist. One morning, Orlando is shocked to wake up as a woman and returns home, struggling as a female to retain her property as the centuries roll by. So she's kind of immortal as well. So really wild twist. And I believe you are right. I believe it is, in fact, based off a Virginia Woolf story. But let me double check, because I may have that detailed wrong. But that's what I heard. Yeah, it is. Virginia Woolf's Orlando, a biography. So that is it. There we go. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing in it. And you buy her in both roles. You buy her as the young prince, and later on when she changes. So I would say by today's standards, it was ahead of the curve. Let's just say that. Okay, so sorry, I meant to create a page and I didn't do it. Let's see, Harris says, so smartboards are basically giant what? They're giant TVs with touch controls that we use while teaching. Most apps are just simple markup apps, but they get the job done. Okay, so you like using actual physical whiteboards. I mean, these electronic ones. That's what I'm understanding. Okay. Let me create a new, and where's my old, I'll open it up here. So we are going to try whiteboards. Okay, so we're gonna try, or I should say digital whiteboards. We're gonna play around with some apps. We're gonna show Microsoft Whiteboard, right? We're gonna look at Miro. We might do these a little bit out of order than in the list that I'm creating, because we may have that the author of let me double check it. I have to look at the actual name. I think it's called Drawpad or Drawing Pad or something. Let's take a look. I heard a beep somewhere. Let's see, I think it's called Drawing Pad. Drawing Pad. Miro. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at Miro. I've only touched it like one time, literally just a couple days ago. Harris says, I do prefer them when working with younger kids since they can write on the screen too. Okay, okay. It also keeps their attention. With older students, it doesn't. Okay, okay. Harris, can you remind me how young, which age ranges you teach? I'm also curious which age range you prefer to teach. Okay, I'm gonna be right back just a second. Okay, I just had to take a bite of my dinner. Another one that was suggested to me was Mural. And oh, Google Jamboard. I think Google canceled this one. Google Keep has some whiteboarding capabilities. There's one called Explain Everything. We may not try everything, but let's make sure we try a couple of them. Lucid Spark. Oops. And I think the one thing I realized when looking through the whiteboarding suggestions and looking back through my experience is how different it is what people come to need and expect of a whiteboard. The scenarios are really different. For example, I need it because I'm writing pages, I'm going through a topic and I'm teaching, in a sense, the audience of the stream. What's important for me is I need to be able to just get a new page quickly and write, okay? And I'm not creating a document, I'm just creating pages. I need to go through pages really quick. And I'm not, I'm sharing it with you as a video, meaning this stream. I'm not having you all install some software and see the strokes I make with my pen get rendered on your screen. You're just watching a video. And for me, there's no collaboration. It's just, I'm drawing something and then you're seeing what I draw. Whereas I think it's interesting because Hera is, for example, as an educator, she's physically in the room with the people she's educating. And she, as she's mentioned in one of her comments, she prefers working with younger kids since they can write on the screen too. It keeps their attention. And that's interesting because that's not my scenario, right? Mine's more of a broadcast. Let's see, Kara's teaching ages 3 to 6, but I've taught middle school and adults as well. Each age has its pros and cons. 5 years old, have a soft spot in Harris. Okay, cool. I'm not really around kids a lot, so I'm really not sure what it's like being around children. Though children I get along incredibly well with them. but I'm just not around them. Certainly at work, you just don't see children. And work meaning Microsoft, I mean. So let's start with this app called Drawing Pad. This is Windows only. And the author may be around by 8 p.m. That's why I want to start with it. Let me just close my Discord windows here. And I bought the app last night on the Windows Store, but we'll go through it. Oops, that's the wrong place. Give me a second as I just verify that. Oops. As I try to verify that this thing is showing me something. Okay, almost there. I need to plug in a Move Ink. So give me a second. Let me go get a Move Ink. Okay, I'm back. I've got the Move Ink, and guess what? It looks on the Discord. The maker of the it's Markerpad has joined the Discord, so he's watching. That's fantastic. So good. We'll start with it. Let me just get the Move Ink connected. And how do I connect it? Let's see. Because this is let me see. It's much easier if I can see what I'm drawing on in this case. And I think in general that's true. I think in general it's better to have a pen display for Whiteboard than a pen tablet. You can certainly use a pen tablet, but it will be much more intuitive for a pen display. And I think I'll note that in my documents. Let's see. Oh, Hera has a comment. Let's see. 5 years old is the age where you see the fastest progress, so it's very rewarding. They are just super cute and bright. Oh, I love that. How sweet. What a great comment, Hera. I think it's great to hear something or read something like that. Okay. I plugged in the Move Ink. And let's just see if I've got... Okay. So you're about to see... I'll just show you for just a brief second. So you're seeing now the Move Ink screen. You should be seeing it with my face to the upper right. Okay? And if you're not, just let me know. But it's a bunch of stairs or something. Okay. So let's go look at this app. And I already took some notes, so I'm going to reflect back on some of the things that I learned. So the Drawing Pad author is actually in the Discord, Kid Genius with a J. And let me just reply to him saying, awesome, awesome. Starting to look at Markerpad. I apologize, I was calling it drawing pad earlier. I could not remember the name. Markerpad right now. Okay, so I did buy it. So it cost $10, and we'll talk about what it gives me. And let me actually, before we get to what it gives me, let me talk about why. So he posted in the drawing tablet subreddit, and I just felt, remember, one of the things I do on this channel is I draw for you a lot, not artistically, but I draw diagrams for you, okay? And just for a second, I'm gonna bring up Microsoft Whiteboard, because this will help you see, I'm talking here really primarily to the author of Markerpad, what it is I do. So people are watching, just like you are watching, and I'm explaining a topic. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a presentation on pressure curves for the pen. And since you created this app, you probably know all about pressure curves and Windows Ink and all that stuff. So I was explaining pressure curves, and I had to just build up this topic bit by bit, illustration by illustration. It was a very pedagogical session. I was in essence acting like a bit of a teacher. So I sympathize with Hera. And I use Microsoft Whiteboard for it. I'm gonna just bring up Whiteboard just so you see what I did. We won't spend any time just looking, testing Whiteboard, not quite yet, because I want to focus on drawing pad. But let's bring it up here. Give me a second, and I'll bring up the Microsoft Whiteboard. Okay. And you should be able to see it in just a second. Okay, so here you should see it. Let me know it's coming up. Here we go. Okay, there it is. So the first, and a Kid Genius, Daniel, I'll call you Daniel then. Thank you. Daniel, the first thing you need to understand, because I think you're new to the channel and to my Discord, or the Discord. I don't like to say my Discord because I don't think of it as my Discord. I pay some bills for it, but it is the community's Discord, okay? Oh, we've got some new, Ryan says there's a new XP Pen tablet. We're gonna take a look at it briefly in a second. But Daniel, this is what I do. I talk about drawing tablets all, like 24/7. That's what happens in the Discord, okay? And I try to explain the technology behind drawing tablets. And this is the result of a stream I had a couple of weeks ago called Learn How to Use Pressure Curves, okay? So I just want you to see what I do, okay? So you understand where I'm coming from. Because I'm not an educator in the sense like Hera, where I'm teaching people and I've got students. And I'm certainly not in an online meeting with people. I'm just drawing and everyone sees what I draw. Okay, so I'm going to show you, if I can find the correct mouse, I'm going to show you just how I do things, right? And it's good to start with Microsoft Whiteboard because that's the solution I have right now. Okay, so you can see, so if you, starting from basically here, this was the most recent note. These other ones are just kind of garbage. Maybe this is, let me hide my face for a second. Oh, it's not hiding. It'll happen. But anyway, this the one in the upper right hand where my yellow mouse is going, that's the last thing I wrote in the stream. But take a look at how many pages I created, okay? All the way down to, roughly speaking, this slide, pressure marathons. And I think of these as kind of slides, by the way, okay? So the first thing I liked was I could see all the pages that I did. That's a very convenient feature for me, okay? And a 12-inch tablet, Ryan? Hera? Okay, we'll take a look at it in a second. So I started here, I just wrote this phrase. Take a look at this. Did you see that? I know it seemed trivial, but it took probably 2 seconds to load this page, okay? And this is what I get out of this Windows Ink. This Microsoft Whiteboard. It's clunky and slow, okay? Now, overall, I kind of like the app, but I hate that I have to wait every second. You know, it takes a while to load anything. Let me erase things, just so I can remember how erasing works. one more thing, because it's going to come up when I give you feedback on Markerpad, is notice how the erase works. It doesn't erase the full stroke. Maybe it can, but it's set to erase part of it. And why is that important for me? Because I'm often doing things like drawing something like this, and I need to get rid of that part. Oh, sorry, I drew it where you can't see it. Sorry. I'm going to draw a square. And so I like to draw where I'm not having to be perfect, right? I can overshoot, and I use the eraser to just erase the parts I don't need, okay? I just want you to be aware of what I am doing, okay? So I'm creating lots of pages. Now watch how long it takes me to create a new page, okay? I'll pretend I'm getting a new page. I have to click on the home button here, which is very small, by the way, and I click New Whiteboard. 1, 2. So now we're at this thing. It's a whole bunch of options, templates. I'm fine with it. I don't care. But I'm always just creating a new empty page. So I'm like, start with new blank canvas. 1, okay, and it does create it quickly. But when you're doing this fast, it's like it takes, it's kind of irritating. I want it to be fast, right? So the reason I was interested in Markerpad was that I wanted something that worked natively well on Windows. And I have some questions about, we'll cover those. But I wanted it also to be feeling lightweight, even though it has real features. I want to be able to get my thoughts out on this tablet as fast as possible. Give me a second. No, I'm sorry. For a second, I thought I scratched my moving. Okay, no, it's not scratched. It just looks like there's some dust there. Okay, so that's what I do here, right? The other thing is, I'm not sure how big the diagram's going to get, right? So I'll draw something. I'm just going to expand it, right? And it's kind of convenient. There is some ability to shrink it down, right? That's actually convenient for me because I'm not really sure how big I'm going to draw. I've never really drawn a super big diagram, but this is what I do here. Okay, let me turn this off. This is a Wacom on-screen menu, right? And I'm not giving, I don't want to say that Microsoft is doing this perfectly, but at least it's a point of reference for us. Okay, it's just a point of reference for us. Daniel, you're right. You're right. That's. I'm not criticizing the choice of stroke eraser. I totally get why that's valuable. I'm not saying that pixel eraser is better. I'm just saying the way I draw, I need a pixel eraser. Okay, and I'm actually going to show you another kind of eraser in a second. Meaning, this is something that this audience and myself, we spend a lot of time in drawing apps. So we're used to some things that they do. And I want to talk about one that they do, which is kind of convenient. Remember my scenario. I'm going to zoom in for this one. Okay. Now I know I'm doing Microsoft Whiteboard, but you'll get the idea. So I draw a shape like this. Okay. Now, actually, it'll be better if I just do a rectangle, right? If I draw and I try to be perfect, I have to do this, right? Even with pixel erasing, when I click on the eraser, oh shit, I didn't draw the thing where you can see it. Okay. I draw, with pixel eraser, I have to do this, right? I have to be very careful about doing that, okay? So I don't do accidentally this, where I make a gap in the stroke. So I just wanted to show you something that happens with actual, it's with a drawing app, and I'm going to just simulate it here. I can do it live if I need to, but there's a feature in Clip Studio Paint called Erase to Intersection. Okay, so let me create a new page. Look at all these clicks I have to do and waiting. It's so many. I hate this. So with Clip Studio Paint, you can do this thing. If you draw on a vector layer, you can draw something like this, and when you can actually turn on something called a vector eraser. And with a vector eraser, if I touch this part, right, what will happen is it will automatically erase the entire thing up to the first intersection. You see what I'm saying? So it lets me really quickly knock off little things that hang out. And I don't mean to say, hey, it's the most critical feature. I just wanted to point it out to you because I wanted you to see why it's useful. And maybe you, when you're designing your next version, you'll think about that, or maybe you'll have other solutions. Because I don't think I've seen that in whiteboarding software, right? Let's see, Hera, yeah, an eraser like vector layers and CSP would be cool. It's very useful. And again, people need different eraser types at different times. Sometimes I need erase to intersection. Sometimes I need to erase the entire stroke, what you call the stroke eraser. And sometimes I need the pixel eraser, where I just want a segment, like I just want to paint, I want to erase just the part I'm painting over. Just want to give you that as an idea for you to, to churn on, okay? Okay, I see people are giving feedback to paste comments in live chat. Thanks for the suggestion, Q. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's if you want me to demo in Clip Studio Paint, let me know, because I'm happy to do it, okay? I see, Daniel, you're having problems sending to the live chat on YouTube, so I will make sure I have the Discord live stream chat in front of me, so I'm not going to miss your comments. So everyone, I just want to say thank you to Daniel, because do you know how rare it is we get a chance to talk about an application with the person who wrote the code? I love this. I love this. And Daniel, I want to say I do like Markerpad. I did buy it. Everyone, it costs about $10. And let's go move to it. Let's go move to it, okay? And I'll show you some things. And on the side, let me find out my notes real quick, because I think I did take actually, I think somewhere here I actually have some notes. Oh, it's on show notes. Got it. Sorry, my mistake. That's what it was, show notes. Because I did collect feedback. I did use it, and I am using this app. This will just remind me what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so let's go start Markerpad. And Markerpad. Okay, first of all, I love the UI. I just want to say right up front, I love the UI. I actually really like that you have a panel that comes up, because, again, people have different preferences, but I like that you have a panel, because I don't have to like constantly click on, with Microsoft Whiteboard, I have to click on something like down here, and then I see a menu of things. I actually prefer this style, where you come up with, by default, this panel. And if I want the more Microsoft Whiteboard, I like that you can, expand, hide. So this is very good, okay? Now, we talked about the erase. The quality of the strokes is fine. Like, I have no complaint about it whatsoever. Now, I did notice that I wasn't totally sure, which maybe we'll discover this right now, the level of how big my document can get. I will say it was not totally obvious to me if this is an infinite canvas or not, right? So, and I don't know how to explain this, because I'm drawing strokes. Maybe I'll draw them in a black ink. It wasn't totally obvious to me in some weird way, but for some reason, when I first used the app, I thought it did not have it did not have a large canvas, okay? I don't know why I thought that, and I'm not sure. Could you clarify maybe? Is it an infinite canvas, or is there a limit to the canvas size? I am super curious, okay? Like, I can't go up, but I can go down to some extent, and then go, yeah, it sounds like there is a limit. I'm just not sure what it is. Oh, and the other thing is, I can't zoom out. Like, I am pinching with my hand, okay? I'm pinching. That's why you're seeing the pulse like that. I'm pinching my fingers together, and I can zoom in, but I'm kind of surprised that I can't see the entire thing, right? I should be able to pinch in, or pinch my fingers together to see the entire document, okay? But yeah, okay, so it's not infinite, but it's large. So the fact that I can't get to the entire size is a bit messing me up a little bit, right? So maybe think about that. Like, is there a way I can actually, I need to see the entire canvas sometimes, right? And I can't see the entire canvas. That's what, I guess, what was really tripping me out, okay? If there's a way to do it, let me know. But you can kind of see what's going on here, okay? The other thing is that and this again, it comes from our background, not just my background, with drawing apps like Clip Studio Paint, which is we are, and again, I don't want to say everyone in the world does this, but sometimes I'm drawing and I need to quickly erase. In Clip Zero Paint, you can hold down a button, which is usually mapped to the E key, and if you press it once, it will switch to the erase tool. But if you hold it down, it only uses it will switch the erase tool while the E key is held down. But the second you let it up, it'll go back to the drawing tool. Okay? Now that's super convenient. That is super convenient. Thank you. Okay, you got my feedback. I'm on the zooming out. Thank you. It just helps me, right? Because sometimes I draw something big and I can't remember the app. There was an app called Prezi where you made a presentation, and the entire thing was based on zooming in, right? And I'm not suggesting that's was a great app or anything, though I did kind of like it. It's just that for me, the way I think about things, I want to see the entire thing, then zoom in on where I'm at, right? Because I'm just very visual that way. Okay, so what was I talking about? I can't remember the last topic. Oh yeah, the shortcut key for erase. So it'd be nice to be able to hold the E key down, and then be able to. I'm going to just pretend I held the E key down, and erase, whether it be whatever kind of eraser, and then when I let go of the E key, it goes back to the drawing, the pen. Okay, so just another piece of feedback. And another thing that I noticed, so you saw how many pages I created, right? I created there must have been 30, 40, 50 pages in my last stream. And I noticed that when I create a new page here, and so everyone knows, just so everyone knows, with the free version of this app, you can create 3 pages, but since I paid $10 for it, I can create, I guess, an unlimited number of pages. And so I just keep on hitting plus, plus, plus. Now you see the problem, they're all given the name Untitled. Now I don't mind the fact they're called Untitled, that's totally fine. But I would actually like it if you numbered the pages so that I know, at least I have some memory visually, because since there are no thumbnails here, I'm not asking for thumbnails. Since there's no thumbnails here, I have no other way of figuring out which page is which. So just having an extra name will help. Just put it like Untitled 1, Untitled 2, Untitled 3, right? Or page 1, page 2. That would just make it easier. Now I'm going to click on this just so everyone sees. I don't know if everyone actually saw that. I clicked on this thing that showed this gallery. I do like this, right? But if I'm just looking at this list here, like I'm editing, then having a page name would really help, right? Okay, so that was really a good thing. I can't remember if I even clicked on this. Rename. Typically in Microsoft, I didn't tell you, Daniel, I worked at Microsoft for 28 years. And I actually worked on a drawing app called Microsoft PhotoDraw. So I have a little bit of background with Windows, certainly. In fact, you're running some code on your machine that I helped design. So I'm very proud of that fact. But I have a lot of sort of historical background in just the way I expect Windows apps to work. And one of the things that it's just very important to make the renaming easy. Normally, I think in Microsoft apps, if you like double click or hold down on like an Explorer, a file explorer, you can actually rename something or hit F2. I'm not suggesting you actually do that. I'm just think about making it easy to rename, right? Without you clicking the button. Some people prefer I kind of actually expected almost to hold down on Untitled here. You can't see my fingers pressing down on the first Untitled page. Like it would start having me edit. Not suggesting that's the right way of doing it. It's another way of getting the rename, okay? Yes, I'm a Microsoft veteran. I just retired actually just a year ago. Okay, I'm gonna need to get some water, so I'm gonna be right back, okay? Just give me just a minute or two. I need to get a jug of water. Okay, I'm back. Let me take a look at the Discord comments. And Hera's asking, can you paste images into the app? Arfdale, hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, pages are so useful, actually. Can you paste images in the app? Yes, that is useful. That is useful. Thanks, Daniel. It would be nicer to make it the renaming easier. Oh, Hera says, even better if I can write on top of my screen. I know it's probably an entirely different thing, so at least images would be great. Okay, I'm loving how low latency. Yeah, it does look low latency. It feels very snappy, honestly. Honestly, I don't know if you can't see it. I don't have my overhead camera turned on, but I am moving as fast as I can, and I do see the, obviously some pointer lag. But if you use this, it will be an experience that. Actually, this is hard to explain. So we're gonna have to ask Daniel about it. Maybe let me turn on my camera, my overhead, because you gotta. Okay, so Daniel, this audience, my audience cares about latency, like pointer lag, meaning how far behind the pointer is from the pen tip, because we know there's some latency. And then on top of it, we care about the brush lag, which usually follows pointer lag. It's the brush where where the actual stroke is being rendered, right? Now, what I notice, and I may be misreading this, is let's see if I can get over top here. Well, that's not quite right, but not too far away. Whoops! Whoa! Here we go. I got a fancy setup, Daniel. And if you want to see more shots of my bald head, just let me know. Okay. So this is to help the audience see the lag, because you can't see my hand, so no one's really sure what the lag is like. And I need to get this app focused, so give me a second. So Daniel, I'm going to compliment you, because there's something I notice here, which is what Hera pointed out. The latency is very low. And I like that. We like that quite a bit, okay? So we do appreciate it. There's nothing like you're drawing and you want to draw a word or write a word and you can't write the word. So we'll try that test out. Because in Microsoft Whiteboard, I feel like I have to slow down to write words a bit. Let's see, continuous autofocus. Let's see if this gets it. Okay, I think it's good enough, maybe. Actually, I'm gonna switch it to manual so that it doesn't trigger off me. Give me a second. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, so, this actually brings me to another thing. It may be just. Yes, Hera, I agree with you. It might be good for jotting down notes. Good. So Daniel's saying in the Discord, I appreciate that you noticed that my main motivation for making Markerpad was because I felt MS Whiteboard was way too slow. I'm a former Microsoft employee, and I am absolutely willing to say the MS Whiteboard is way too slow, way too clunky. It could be fixed, but that's why I downloaded Markerpad. I wanted something lightweight, and don't get me wrong, I want features, but I want to replace MS Whiteboard, okay, with what I do. Something that's reliable and quick, and I'm gonna have my biases, of course, but I just want to share. And I thank you so much for joining the stream. Okay, so the first thing I just realized is there's no easy way for me. Maybe I just don't know it. Is there an easy way to erase the entire note? That's not it. Clear all. Okay, there we go. Yes, I am clear all. Now, okay, I'm gonna draw some stuff, and I just want to share one more shortcut. In Clip Studio Paint and Krita, there's a shortcut that's either to delete or backspace, which deletes just deletes everything. That's super useful for me, so I just like you to consider that as well. Where I'm just drawing and I'm just like, oh, I messed this up, just wipe it all, right? Obviously, it's a very dangerous feature. There's a very dangerous feature to delete all. So you do need undo. I don't know if you have undo. Let me check. Control Z. Okay, it looks like you do have undo. And I'll undo, and let's see, does Control Y work? Redo? Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I just want to share that. I had to clean up diagrams a lot, right? And sometimes I don't want to create a new page. I just want, because I don't want to create excessive pages. But just being able to undo everything is fantastic. Okay. Okay, great. Now, one more. Okay, there's 2 apps. You probably know about them, but I would like you to take a look at them. One of them is relatively easy to take a look at, and one of them, unfortunately, requires a special device. So the first one is Canvas, not Canvas. Yeah, Canvas app. Is that it? Concepts. Sorry, I got the name wrong. Concepts app. Okay. A lot of us in chat like Concepts. Now, don't get me wrong. It is much more about like doing kind of artistic rendering for like fashion and automobiles and stuff. At least that's the way they advertise it. But the one thing about Concepts is it is very low latency. It's very low latency. Okay. It's very low latency. I just like you to just be familiar with it. Okay. The other app, which this reminds me of, but I don't know if you're aware of it. So remember, my channel is focused on creative. So let me get my head out of the way, okay? My channel is focused on creative technology, and at least for the last 2.5 years, I've been focused on drawing tablets primarily because that's a creative technology that we don't know a lot about. And as a result, you may not know this, Daniel, but I have 100 drawing tablets, okay? Over 100 actually, and that's one of the reasons on my Discord, all we do 24/7 is we talk about drawing tablets. Now, the leading drawing tablet brand is Wacom, okay? And they just released a product called the Wacom Moving Pad 11, and the Moving Pad Pro 14 is about to come out. And they have an app there called it's called just Wacom Canvas, okay? Now, it doesn't pitch itself as a whiteboard app. It pitches itself as a, what do you call it? A kind of like a quick sketch app. But it reminds me a lot of what you built here in the fact that they create pages and they have a gallery app. It's called Wacom Shelf, so you can see what you've created, which I think is elegant. I like the way you did it. You have a gallery view here. But I think you should take a look at it because it straddles the line between, because it's just trying to make you sketch, and it actually deliberately doesn't have features, right? And it took me a while to understand why that was actually a good thing. But they picked like a good set of features to have. I would probably like a few more, but you might learn something about, where you might want to take Markerpad. So I just want to share that. Wacom Canvas. Now, unfortunately, it's not like you can download Wacom Canvas from the Google Play Store. It's part of what they install. I'm not sure if you can get it any other way. Oh, Hera, let's see what Hera is saying. I'm currently watching the stream on my Moving Pad 11 because I didn't feel like turning on the PC. I understand. Now, personally, I use the Moving Pad just as a sketchbook. I actually do not use it for Discord and YouTube. Maybe, Daniel, you just watch some videos of people reviewing it and you'll understand what it's about. Because you might get some interesting ideas, right? You might get some interesting ideas. Okay. So another thing this is just brainstorming, Daniel, so don't take this as a feature request. Just take it as I am, since I was a product manager at Microsoft, I'm always very careful in how I give feedback. So that's why I'm couching this a certain way. Don't take this as a feature request. I just want to brainstorm with you about it, which is in Microsoft Whiteboard, I have a bunch of different, it's like every whiteboard is different, they're unconnected. But in some ways, I've always wanted to be able to just like keep a certain set of pages together, okay? Like in OneNote, not to say you're trying to make a OneNote clone, in OneNote, there's sections and each section has a page. And I'm just brainstorming, like, can I keep pages together and organize the different sets of pages? Okay. Let's see. Thanks for joining, Nick. comparing drawing apps. As an ex-Microsoft worker, can you tell who should we beat for MS Paint? Are you looking to cause some violence, Nick Tyler? Hey, Paint is improving. Come on. Okay, Paint is improving. So that's one thing I think about is, can I get back to these things? Okay. And in other words, organization. Now I understand you want to keep the app light, so that's why I said this is brainstorming. Don't take it too seriously, right? Okay, so one thing I do is I am on my Windows ARM machine. I just want to thank you. Everything works totally fine on this is a Surface Pro 7 laptop with Snapdragon X. Okay, and oh, while we're at it, are you planning on releasing this on iPad and Android? So if you are, just let us know, because I think people would be curious about it. Okay, next up is, so I wanted to, sometimes I need to take what I draw and I want to make it a diagram in PowerPoint, okay? So a couple of brainstorming, not a feature request, just brainstorming. But the first thing I did was I went and I clicked on this thing. And so I do like that you made it, easy to share, okay? And I clicked on my own name. I'm gonna go in and just click on it, and then, so I like this. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. My mistake. Let me show everyone again. So I'm here, and I click this share button, right? I do like its positioning. And then I see it's a PNG, and then I click on 7 pens, which is my Outlook account, and blah, blah, blah. I'll just type in some text, and I'll go ahead and send it, okay? So, you're gonna see in a second what happens, okay? So give me a moment. I'm gonna bring up, okay, here it is. Here's what, okay? So, there's a problem here. I think you can notice it. The PNG that's sent, now depending on who you are, you might want what happened or not. So I'm not suggesting that what I'm about to say is the right answer, but for some situation it is the right answer for me. And that is, it looks like what's happening is you've rendered the PNG with a transparent background, okay? And remember, I drew it on a white background, so because I think of the whiteboard as paper, I expected a white background, right? So I just want to show you that's obviously doesn't look quite correct, right? It's black on dark gray, so I can totally understand if I was going to take this and put it on a PowerPoint page. Like, it is convenient to have transparent background. I think it's transparent is what's going on, but does that make sense? I'm looking for your comment on the Discord. Makes sense, right? And again, maybe you should give people the option, because I can absolutely understand why someone would do this and then they would be like, oh, I just want the ink. I don't want the paper, right? So I totally get why this is actually useful, right? Let's see, we've got some comments on the YouTube, so let's just take a quick look. Yeah, they did add AI to Paint, Nick. It's been a while now. It does have layers. They're actually introducing their own like format similar to PSD. So it'll have multiple layers in the format. So that's wild. I have to tell you, I haven't been super happy with the AI in Paint. It just comes up with bad images, right? It's just not high quality. Thank you, Daniel. If you can just think about the background. Rem, can you just remind me which app you're talking about? Because there have been lots of discussions of apps in the last couple of days, so I forget who's creating what app. So please just remind me. Right. So the other thing is, let me go back to Markerpad. Why can't I get back there? Okay, here we go. Right. Again, I like it. Again, and what I'm about to say is more of a just brainstorming, not thinking thing, which is like, oh, actually, I didn't show all the features. We got to show people the features, right? So we have the different pens. Or sorry, we have the pen. I'll be honest. Okay, sorry. Let me show it to you. I forgot I'm not showing it to you. And this is a classic thing with lots of UI these days, which is, actually, something is wrong right now. Hang on. Hello. Okay, there we go. So I'm clicking. Something has happened, Daniel, and no matter what I do, I'm clicking on the erase, and I'm clicking on the pen, and nothing's changing. Don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I'm able to draw. I cannot interact with the panel though, right? So maybe is there some? I don't think there's any kind of modal UI that came up. Can I click on this? I can't. Is there? I'm checking now. No. So I don't know what's going on, but I have discovered something. I don't know what caused this or when it happened, but I cannot interact. In fact, I'm clicking all over on the panel and nothing's happening, right? And let me know if you want me to investigate or try something specific, Daniel. One other piece of feedback, which is really what I was trying to tell you when I got into this problem, is it's about the way selection between the pen and the eraser is shown. And this is a classic problem with flat UI. It is unclear to me, or it's not totally obvious that which is selected. I know there's a little black or blue bar here underneath the eraser, but I just don't find that a big enough visual cue. There's been a couple of times when I've used this and I'm clicking, and I just don't know which is actually selected, right? So maybe if it's just more obvious which one's selected instead of just this tiny little bar, that would make more sense, right? Or just be more obvious which one's selected. Okay. Oh, now it's back. Who knows why it's back? I can draw. Oh, sorry. No, I was wrong. I'm going to close it and bring it back up. Let's see. Yeah, I can't even shut it down now. Hang on. I'm trying with my keyboard now. Oh, that's wild. Okay, let's try with... I may have to kill this. I may have to task manager this. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, just a little more obvious. That's all. Daniel, I'm like in my mid 50s, so this is totally me. But I can't. You know, you're probably younger than I am. I cannot just like a menu at a restaurant, I have to keep things kind of far away from me. And actually, it's become harder as I've aged to see things. Not that like I can't see light, but even though this tablet, this moving pad is kind of, I don't know, 2 feet from my eyes, like I'd have to, I need different glasses. So it's just harder for me and other people as we age to notice smaller details, okay? So I just want to point that out. It's just kind of an accessibility thing for as people age. But everything else in this app is kind of big and like it's easy for me to see, right? Let's see what else. I'm going to close the app because it is borked. Borked is a Microsoft word. No, it's not a Microsoft word, but we do say that. It's borked. Or hosed. We also say hosed. Okay, I'm gonna let's see if Task Manager, which is the most used app in Microsoft, and Task. Let's try Markerpad again. Okay, now at least I am back to normal with my strokes. Okay, don't know what happened there, but at least we're back in business. So another thing about sharing is, again, it just goes back to like, I notice I can share one page, but in my stream I had, I don't know, 30 pages. And I imagined myself being able to like, when it hit share, like it would just send them all or some selection as a zip file or something, so that later I'd open it up and then manage them in PowerPoint. Now, however, even though I said that, I believe you have some features here I want to talk about, which is the OneDrive backup. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click it, and yeah, here we go. Let's do it. I may need my phone, so sure. Okay, so I like this, Daniel. I do like this. This is one of the features that I wish that Wacom Canvas had. So where are these files being put is my question, right? Maybe it just wasn't obvious, but like, let's go take a look here. Let me look off stream for just a second, so I don't, just in case there's something embarrassing. Okay, so this is my OneDrive, which shouldn't have anything embarrassing. I'm looking for the files. So where are they? Are they in documents? Bamboo. I don't see it. So if you could just tell me where they're at, that would actually be really helpful. I'm just waiting for Daniel to chat on the Discord. Hey Nick, calculator will absolutely have AI. Trust me. Called apps, then you'll see Markerpad. Okay. Oh, I see apps. Okay. Designer, my stuff. Okay. I'm just curious. Why does it say apps then designer? Sorry, I didn't see it. Am I missing something? Oh, designer is Microsoft Designer. Okay. Let me know if I clicked on something incorrectly. I think I did the right thing, though. Because I did enable it, right? I did enable. Let me try clicking sync now. What? Setting up first sync to avoid conflicts. Which data do you want to continue using? Restore backup. What? I don't understand. I never made a backup, so I'm not understanding what restore backup means. Upload local. I guess that means upload what I have on this machine. I love the idea of syncing, by the way. Let me just be clear on that. Okay, so I'm gonna click sync now. I guess it's set up now. It would be great if there was, in this UI, there was a link to the OneDrive folder, because that would make it easier. Then I don't have to, like, you know, do this search. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. So there's an index.json and then incf files. So these are PNGs, right? These aren't like a special format. Is that correct? Or are they? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. Some of these, again, it makes sense. I'm just not sure. Part of the problem is, let's say with this one, I don't know if that's an empty page or I just, because it's transparent, I can't see what I drew, right? Fortunately, with these pages, I drew with, you know, bright colors, so they're at least, it's understandable what happened. But you see the effect of not having a white background, right? Though I understand why it's probably happening this way. I totally get that. Please don't take this as a negative. I get why the pages are done this way. I'm sure it makes it easier to load and edit. It just, if I wanted to go use this, you see the problem, right? I don't even know what's going on because, is this an empty page or all black? In fact, we'll try it. We'll actually try exactly what I'm saying, right? Let's create a new page. And I'm going to create black ink and I'm just going to draw some circles, okay? And is there a sync status somewhere? In OneNote, it's kind of somewhat obvious, or Word, it's kind of obvious if you're sunk. That's not a real word, but okay. But here, so I created a page. Is one of these the page? You see what I'm saying? And if it's not, last synced. I guess the question I have is, if I'm at this UI, is it clear if something is not synced. Like, it's not totally clear. I know there's a time frame, but it's like, it's almost like you intuitively. I understand it may not be possible. Intuitively, you'd expect to see like, oh, I haven't synced. Okay, I'll go back there, and you see now the problem is I don't know what to make of these files. Okay, sync is manual. Got it. So which one's the file I just created? See, everything's named here by a GUID. You see my challenge? I don't know what to... Okay, you hear what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just, I'm not sure what to do here, partially because of the background, partially because I don't know why some aren't rendering in previews, partially because the names of the files are GUIDs, right? And so it's just, it's baffling me a little bit, right? But I do like the idea that you're able to back up. And I assume, Daniel, that if I open up Markerpad on another Windows machine and I enable sync, it'll pick up these things. And will all these things be seen as the same pages? Like, right? Daniel, is there anything else? I think I'm looking through my notes here about this. I think I've covered all my basic feedback. Probably, if I'll just do a little bit of brainstorming, and I'll invite anyone else to brainstorm a little bit, which is sometimes, I mean, again, I'm just thinking out loud. Sometimes I wish I could kind of draw something and automatically have it export as a PowerPoint, right? Okay, the other devices will see the same pages. Fantastic. Because I need to use these things in other apps, right? But that's great. And I'll just say this out loud so everyone knows I've said it. I am not asking for any AI features. Okay? I'm just enjoying the app that it is. And everyone, I think you will say, if you've used concepts, you will feel like this is very responsive. They're very low latency. So I don't feel like I'm limited when I'm with Microsoft Whiteboard, which I think is here. Let me write a word and you'll see my problem. Oops. The 7 pens. Okay, and this feels okay, right? This feels okay. Let's see if I'm going to have a different experience here. It's probably I want a smaller brush for this one. The 7 pens. I do feel like it has less latency here, but I don't know if that's my imagination or not. I feel like it was... yeah, I feel like there's like some kind of smoothing going on with Microsoft Whiteboard, which is making me hard. It's making it hard. I don't even know how to write the anymore. The 7 pens. And let me go back to Markerpad. The 7 pens. In my testing here, it feels like Markerpad has lower latency and less smoothing, so that I'm able to write a word like that and it matches what I think I wrote. Versus with Whiteboard, it's not as close for me, right? Does that make sense? So I'm liking this. Let's see. Oh, Hera's got a suggestion here. Maybe not a PowerPoint, but at least a PDF would be amazing. Is PDF something? Can you maybe, Hera? Can you explain maybe what's useful about a PDF for you? I would love to know. Let's see. Nick says the thing is, no one ever asked for all these AI features anywhere. That is true, but they are definitely invading. They are invading. Let's see. One thing that annoyed me to no end was that MS Whiteboard smoothing. Okay, so you noticed it too. Yeah, I noticed it. And Daniel, the thing you'll notice about us as a community is we're very aware of smoothing. Like we can detect it. We're very cognizant that it happens and how it's implemented, and we tend to want control over whether or not it's happening. We recognize the utility of smoothing. We use it all the time, but for some cases we know we'd rather have the pen be more responsive, right, than smooth. So just keep that in mind. And I have no suggestion for improvement about smoothing. I actually think this is more responsive, and it seems like you're not, whatever MS Whiteboard is doing, it's processing the stroke in some extra way, right? Let's see. Harris says, PDFs just keep everything together, but in Pages. It makes things easy to print and share. You can always present a PDF. Okay, that's a great point. That's a great point. That's another way of thinking about the export, which is you're going to use this in a certain way. And for Hera, I can see that printing is important. I don't have a printer, so I can get it. Yeah, it's very responsive, Daniel. We do like it. So what I'm going to do, Daniel, is during my next stream, where I am talking about a topic, I'm kind of educating the audience, or we're discussing something, I'm going to use Markerpad, okay? And for the entire stream, and I'll, as you saw, I create a lot of pages, and we'll see how people react, right? And we'll see what my feedback is on the app then. But I like it, and this is something that I think people will really enjoy, right? For everyone who missed it earlier, the app only costs $10. And Daniel, is that a perpetual license, or how does that work? I didn't see a subscription, which is good, but if you can just clarify for us, that would be great. Let's see. Oh, Harris says, also some tablets have smoothing built in, so it depends on the tablet. Yes, adjusting would be great. Yeah. This is a solid app. Lifetime license. Fantastic. 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 Okay. And yeah, if you want more feedback, just let us know. And if you want us to try things out, just let me know. I'm happy to try things out, stress test it, right? But yeah, I want to use this as my primary whiteboarding tool for this audience, because it is lightweight, it works well, and it is very responsive, right? And I do like, again, I really think one of the features that I really like the most is just the fact that this panel appears on the left, right? It lets me keep as much of the drawing space as I want, but it doesn't get in the way. So I like that, right? I like that. One thing, I don't know if you have it, Daniel. I'm right-handed, but some people are left. I've heard legends that some people are left-handed, but they may prefer the panel on the right side because it doesn't. They just may prefer it that way, right? I like it this way because I'm right-handed. So just keep that in mind, right? And Daniel, is there anything else you want me to try? Because I think I've given. I'm looking at my list. I think I've given all the feedback that I have. But if you want me to try anything else, there's left-hand support. Okay, let me take a look. Oh, okay, perfect. There we go. Thank you, Daniel. Which just goes to show you, this is something I discovered at Microsoft all the time. Sometimes users, we tend to complain about something or say, oh, you should add this feature. And then, the developers actually has already added the feature. We just didn't check. So thank you, Daniel, for educating me. Yeah, this is a good app. I'm looking now to see if you want me to try anything else. Let's see. Nick says, I love PDF format. It can contain raster, vector, text, support, and compression. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I see Daniel's typing something, so I'm just gonna wait for him to type. Okay, great. And yeah, I'll use this fully for my next stream where I'm writing things down, and I'll let you know if I discover anything else. Okay. Thanks so much. Yeah, you'll let us know if there are going to be updates. Thank you. Okay. So that was Daniel's Markerpad, lightweight, responsive, and very reasonably priced. I liked it, and we gave some feedback, so we're going to thank Daniel for joining the stream. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few other apps, and we're going to just see what it's like. And the next one I want to do is actually Microsoft Whiteboard. Let's just take a look at it. Now, again, I like Microsoft Whiteboard. I really do. I don't want to complain against it. But one thing I noticed is the smoothing is not perfect, right? So it's good for diagrams, but not for text, right? And sometimes I need to write text, and it tends to mess up the text. The second thing is I do like this view. I think it's very nice that I can just get to this view. But then when I want to create a new whiteboard, it feels very heavyweight, right? Like a clicking on this, and when you ever see a progress bar, it's not a good sign. And then there's all these diagram types, which is fine. I don't use any of them. I just use blank canvas. So I would like a shortcut in Microsoft Whiteboard just to create a blank canvas. But this is free, number one. It's available for Windows, obviously. It's also available as a Mac app, if I'm correct. And it's also available as a web tool. So that's super convenient. I prefer running it locally than a web tool because I don't want the web to have a problem when I'm streaming. But this is a good app, and it's free. It's completely free. The only thing you need to use this app is a Microsoft account. That's it. You don't have to pay for anything. It's a decent app. And I am curious to replace this with Daniel's app, Markerpad. Okay, let's see what other apps I want to take a look at. Give me a second. Miro. I've only used Miro one time, just for seconds. But let's take a look at it. First, let me just get to the Miro site and log in. Now, this is an online app. I don't think they have a download. Not that I know of, anyway. Miro, Workspace for Innovation. Sign into Miro, okay? Email. We'll use Gmail or a Google account. So Miro is a much bigger thing. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Sorry. So I just logged into Miro, and it's a real bigger system. This is not a trivial little application at any level. And let's just try to do some things. Let's see. I've reached a limit of 30 editable boards, or group boards into spaces. So this goes back to organization, which is one of the things I just briefly talked to Daniel about when we were showing Markerpad. So I have 3 boards, and each board is just one image, right? And I'm doing this on my Mac. I'm not drawing on this right now. Actually, I should do it on my Windows machine so I can use the Move Ink. So let me close Microsoft Whiteboard and Markerpad. Let me start Miro on my other device. Be a little easier for me to see what's going on and to demonstrate. Okay, so go to Miro, and then I'm gonna log in with Google. Let's take a look. Okay, this goes back to, you can organize boards. Each image is a board, and you can organize them into spaces. Now, in the free plan, which is what I'm using, I have 3 boards, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and organize them space. Oh, the spaces are in the upgrade. You have to get a paid plan for it. So let's just delete some boards. We don't need to keep these around. lead. I do like that it's an online app, honestly, because then there's no limitation on which computer I use it. So let's create new. And actually, give me a second. Let me close something. Okay, give me just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I see Voidouts has a question or a statement. Platform names have become so weird. Why is it called Miro? A lot of AI agents have strange names too. I don't know if there is a reason, but I think it works. It's not hard to pronounce. It's pretty easy to understand that it is pronounced Miro, or I think it is, and it's not hard to spell. I think they just picked it because it's convenient. I'm not sure if there's a deeper meaning, but I can check. Okay, so this is Miro. And create a new board. So this is the free plan. Remember that. This is the free plan. Again, they come at me with this big set of templates, right? And there's a lot. There's a lot here. And I guess they look attractive. I'm not sure what this is. Actually, let's try a basic one, then we'll try something. I feel like it's so heavy, I'm not sure I could use this when I'm talking to you all. Let's try, I guess, ideation and brainstorm. I just want a blank board. Why is it? Everyone's trying to create these complex things. I want a blank page. Image creation, maybe? What? I don't even know what these things are anymore. Okay. I don't even know what okay, so I guess I have a blank page somehow. Let's just do a few things here. This is more complex than I imagined. I'm going to click the marker tool or the pen tool. It's very responsive, actually. That surprises me. I got to learn why it's so responsive, because my web app is not this responsive. I'll tell you that. Okay. Let's see. That was the pen. How's erase work? Oh no, this is a highlighter. Here's the eraser. Oh, it's a stroke eraser. It erases the entire stroke, so that actually surprised me, but I understand. And there's a selection tool and looks like a frame tool. I wouldn't use this with you during a stream because this is too complex. I'm not sure even, I mean, I'm not criticizing it so much as it's intended for a more complex scenario than what I am talking about. This looks like something designed for a more structured conversation where you have more time to present maybe, or more time to prepare. If I was just talking to you, I don't know if I would really, it's not, again, it's just not obvious sometimes what I'm supposed to do here. Switching to a brush. Let's see what it can do here. It says 7. Share the board, so I can share it with people. Oh, this is interesting. I can record a talk track. Let's try it. Let's try it. This is hooked up to my Surface, so I'm not sure you can see it or sorry, hear it, but I'm gonna try something. Record talk track. You can see my head here. I'm gonna turn off the camera. Allow, well, isn't the site? Okay, I don't want this camera. We're gonna, because I'm gonna be facing down, so it's gonna be a bit weird. Video, no. We just want the, okay, let's start recording. I'll do a little actual thing, okay? Okay, everybody, this is recording with Miro. And we're gonna talk about an actual topic here. And unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I thought I was going to be able to draw, but it looks like I can just move things around. That's not what I expected. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Okay, let's just go. Talk track has been added. That's not what I expected. What I thought it was going to do was record me as I'm drawing and my voice, so you could hear it play back as I draw, and that's exactly not what it did. So I got to investigate this. Call recording. This is more of a collaboration app that's very visual. This is almost like a Microsoft Teams or a Zoom or something. It's not really exactly a whiteboard in the sense that I was thinking about it. I don't think this is going to be useful for me. Even though I think this is actually a very sophisticated app, I don't think it's going to be very useful. This seems like a much bigger scenario than what I had planned, right? Okay, let's try, let me just jump ahead to Google Jamboard. I don't actually, because I'm not sure it actually exists anymore. Let's take a look. Search for Google Jamboard. Let me go to Wikipedia. Oh, right here. This is what I was looking for. Jamboard was a digital interactive whiteboard developed by Google. Jamboard was discontinued on January 1st. So is Jamboard a physical device? I thought it was actually a web app. Okay, let's just see what happens if I type it in and go there. Google Jamboard. Maybe the app is still up. Oh, okay. So, okay, Jamboard is out. Not going to be useful for us. Google Keep is like a note thing, so it's not really appropriate in this list. Let's see Lucid Spark. Oh, actually, before I do that, someone mentioned there's a new XP Pen tablet. I think it was Ryan. So let's go and take a look at that, because I think that is an interesting topic. Let's see, I think we were in general. Where is it? New XP Pen model. I'll get on Instagram. Should I get on Instagram? What? See more from Jinx Paws. What the heck? I got really confused by that image because it's a 12-inch tablet, but it looked huge when she was holding it. What the hell? Maybe that wasn't the tablet. Okay. Oh, I see. This is not the tablet. This is something else. Let's take a look at that again. Am I misunderstanding what this is? Okay, I'm just gonna slowly click through this. Okay, so this is like a teaser. She's not gonna share. Look at these buttons. What? Are you seeing this? Okay, my initial reaction is I love it. I love what I'm seeing. It is so out there. It's exactly not what you'd expect, right? These buttons are like in your face, and it's got these rollers. Ah, the first tablet's her home setup. Yeah, I was really confused because I thought, did they release a really large tablet? I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen rollers on the side of a tablet this way. One of Huion's tablets has a roller, the Intuos, sorry, oh damn it, I forgot. Inspiroi 2. It has a roller. I've never seen two rollers. And this is a 12-inch tablet. Interesting. These buttons stick out too. They're raised. They're not flush with the tablet, so that's another wild thing. And it looks like they have like red lights on them. I kind of do want it, Hera. It only uses one cable, which is great, but... Okay, can we do a little research here? Can we like see if the protruding out the body, exactly what you don't want it. Well, yes, that could be a problem for sure, Nick. Hera, I know that toxic trait. I have it in myself for sure. Okay, let's see. XP pen. Do they say anything about this? What? This looks like an old Twitter or something. This may not be the right. XP pen. Oh, I see. No underscore. This is the Ultra 16. Okay. Well, that's interesting. First of all, 12 inches. I guess I can't complain. Honestly, I've been having so much fun with the Moving Pad 11. Yeah, they're not talking about it on their Twitter. Let me see if I can just type in XP Pen 12, right? 12. That's old. That's old. Okay. Looks like that's the first thing we've seen with this reference to new tablet. It looks interesting. I mean, I can't lie. So let's hope we have some more information about it soon. Well, you know what I want? Honestly, I'll just say it one more time. It's what I need to see from XP Pen is that the pens get better. Okay, that's number one. Number two, You know, it's interesting. They've gone their own way on a couple of topics. On bezels, so their tablets have these big bezels, which some people love. And it looks like they're going their own way with this new tablet as well, with those raised buttons. So, and this roller. So I think I want one. I just want to see what it's going to feel like. But it's got to be priced well. And we're not sure if it's a consumer tablet or a pro tablet. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the next whiteboard app. Lucid Spark. Lucid Spark. Let's take a look. Yeah, absolutely, Hera. They need to release new pen tech. They've got to. The current pen tech is not bad. It's just clearly in a different place than Huion and Wacom. And as long as they can get close to Huion, we're fine. And I still recommend XP Pen with the current tablets and pens, but I just want that little extra improvement. Okay, what is Lucid Spark? The virtual whiteboard where ideas ignite. Let them catch on fire? Okay, this looks more like you're working, it's more of a team thing. Let's see. Nick says, not really. I tried, but it never worked for me. I don't know of anyone who uses rotation in tablet driver unless it's 180 rotation. I have seen a handful of people who rotate their tablets, so they're not they're portrait mode, but it's incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. Let's see, it's not bad. It's just when you test them in the store next to a Huion Pentec 4.0, you can feel, yeah, I think you can, right? Certainly I can, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. Okay, let's see if I sign up for, let me do Google here. Sure. Lucid Chart. This app is already complicated. I'm not even 5 seconds into it. And I'm just getting so many little... I just want to draw. I don't need a whiteboard. New... Blank document. Okay, this is a complicated app. And it's taking time to load. Okay, this is a serious app. I'm a new user. Yeah, sure. Hello, I'm in design. Why not? No, I'm not gonna invite more people. Okay. Oh God. Other. You know what? I keep clicking and it's not letting me draw, which is my first irritation. It's like soon it's gonna ask me for a coffee date before it lets me draw. Okay, it keeps popping up UI. Okay. Nick is saying Huion has demo showrooms where you can try their pens. They do have some retail locations where you can do this. I believe there's one in Japan, at least. There's at least one other, I think, in China. Maybe multiple. But I don't know of like the full list. But there's at least, I think, one or two. Okay, let's see. Oh, you click here, then it just appears. That's... Okay, my confusion is, how do you... Let me just erase everything. How do you get this box? Most often, you'll click on something and draw, but in this one, or drag, but in this one, you click on the shape on the left, it just magically appears. So if you want an arrow, okay, that put an arrow, but what if I click it again? Oh, wow, that's weird. It will just, oh, that's interesting, actually. It'll keep adding kind of linearly. But what if I put one of these below the other one? What'll happen? Okay, it'll just keep adding to the right. That's interesting and unexpected. Let's see. There is one store in Korea that has both Huion and XP pen models to test. Sense Labs too. I think there are some Huion showrooms in some countries. Yeah, Nick, like you, I've never seen one. Though I think one person in the Discord has brought back a picture of a Huion store, I believe in Japan. I've never seen I've never seen a Wacom retail store ever. Though the closest I've ever come is I've been in a retail store many years ago where I saw a Wacom tablet. That's actually how I found my first Wacom tablet. Okay, this app is complicated, and I wonder what happens if I zoom in. And let me see if I can pan. Where will the next box get drawn if I click this? Oh, that's so bad. Like, if your document extends beyond the screen, the next time you have it create a box, it'll put it right on top of. I understand the logic, but like it ends up doing some weird things. Let's see. Harris says Seoul used to have a Huion store, but it closed. Wacom has several in Seoul. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Oops, I'm deleting the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, I think this is more like group diagramming software. It's not what I wanted for a whiteboarding, honestly. I'm sure it's awesome, Lucid Spark, but not what I was looking for. Okay, what else do we have to check? Google Keep, nah, it's not really appropriate. Miro we did, Drawing Point we did. Explain everything. Let's take a look at that. Explain everything. Online whiteboard for teaching. Okay, accept all. Start for free. This looks like PowerPoint. Kind of does, yeah. Now part of Pro. I think I actually tried Explain Everything a year or so ago. So let's see if they remember. Sign in to Explain Everything. Enter my birth date. Sure, I'll happy. 1/1/1947. Create account. I have read it. Oh God, so many clicks. Other. The Lucid Chart app. Oh, I see, Lucid Chart. New project. Okay, this looks more lightweight. Okay, blank canvas, I like that. Let's see. You are now the host. Oh, okay, so it has a kind of meeting quality to it. And what the hell is HUS DPDU? Oh, that's the invite code. One day, Hera, one day I will have a tablet museum. There's no doubt. Okay, I'm liking the experience. I'm just not sure if I would actually use this app. I'm drawing with my mouse, by the way. So I can't totally tell what the pointer lag is like since I'm using the mouse. Okay, they have different kinds of brushes. What's the eraser do? Okay, the eraser is a... Why doesn't it erase everything? It's erasing one stroke, but not the others. What? Okay, let me draw a new stroke here. Will the eraser get it? It's unclear why it erases some stroke. It looks like it's erasing the last stroke, but not any previous strokes. That's weird. Text. Okay, oh, I like this. It's garbage text. Can I cut things? What the hell? Huh? I'm really not sure what this cutout tool did. Okay, this is a possibility. This is a possibility. The UI seems light, which I like. It could be something that would be good if we're collaborating, but it's not quite what I imagined it would be. But I'm very curious about it. I'm very curious about it. But yeah, overall, I think the two apps that stand out for me are Microsoft Whiteboard and Markerpad because they're lightweight and they do what I need, right? And I think Daniel told us he'll come back to us and let us know when there are updates. But I'm really curious where he's going to take the app. It's a difficult thing, to have an app and focus on what you really think it's going to do. And I'm very curious where his app is gonna evolve or not. Okay, I need a quick bio break. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Well, a couple of things surprised me in the stream. Number one, how complicated some of these whiteboarding apps are. I thought they were all going to be like just very simple apps for drawing pages, right? More like a digital sketchbook. But it turns out I'm a little bit out of date. These apps have become, some of them anyway, have become like collaboration apps that are meant to, have multiple people looking at something and sharing something. And they become more diagramming apps. And that's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting. My needs are much more simple than that. Like, I'm not trying to do, I don't need templates. I just need to be able to draw pages quickly and have a, somewhat of an infinite canvas or a large canvas, and be able to use that content in other places, right? I think I would probably, if I had to think about the features that I would like to see that are kind of far-fetched. Oh, let's see, Nick has a comment. This music makes me nostalgic about Vancouver restaurants. They had always had such a calm ambient. Really interesting, okay. I've only been to Vancouver a couple of times. I am curious if AI is really going to affect kind of whiteboarding apps. I guess the fantasy I had, and the fantasy that I've had, which is kind of related to what I did at work, is I want to be able to draw a sketch, but have it come out more cleaned up, and not just like basic lines are fixed up, but more like kind of an interesting rendering, right? Maybe AI can be used for the cleanup. Maybe it can be used for just making the entire thing look better. So that's something, but I haven't seen anything like that. Nothing that at least catches my eye anyway. So I'm hoping that we'll see a lot of development in the next couple of years about how apps that aren't really art apps, but are are about whiteboarding or diagramming will really evolve, right? And obviously, as tablet users, I always think that we're at the forefront of like what people will actually do with these things. Let's see. The music reminds me of a JRPG lobby. I'm going to look up the word JRPG. I've never even seen that. JRPG. Japanese role-playing game is a genre of role-playing game traditionally. In my head, I was thinking JPEG, like the compression format. These games typically feature story-driven adventures with predefined characters. Turn-based. I've never played a turn-based game. Okay, I would not have guessed that. But now maybe if I'm looking for new music for my background, I'll search for JRPG lobby music. That will be good. Okay, does anyone have anything else you'd like me to take a look at? Or do you have any news or updates or anything else you want to discuss? Totally happy to. Think like Final Fantasy or those are two games I've never played. I only play like one game a year, like exactly one game, and I have a very narrow window of games that I like. Mostly it's Dishonored, which I love Dishonored, and Metal Gear Solid 5, and Fallout. That's about it. That's all. That's really the games I play. There's nothing really else going on in my life. Okay, let's just take a quick look at. It reminds me of the music in Persona-like game where you're just walking around the city. Okay, I could get that vibe. Yeah. Let's take a look if there's anything going on YouTube. If there's any new tablet videos. Okay. I don't think Brad's got anything coming up? Brand, let's take a quick look. I haven't seen this one, Finding the Right Galaxy tab. I'll probably watch it offline. Those games are a very different vibe, Hera says. Let's see if Tio has anything coming up. I was supposed to publish a video today on the Wacom 114. I got the audio recorded, but I just ran out of steam on adding the graphics and things, so I'm going to do that tonight, maybe tomorrow. I mean, get the content ready. I'll probably publish tomorrow. Let's see. EK Anathorists says, I bought the Cintiq 16 2025. It only came with 2 extra nibs. I have a lot of S Pen nibs. I tried them. It's working. Nib buds, a little small, but they're working. Hey, the one thing you have to watch out for is somebody just recently with the Pro Pen 3 put in a, not from an S Pen, but a different pen. They put in a nib, and the entire nib went inside the pen because the head of the nib is small enough that it sort of fits into the barrel, and so it's stuck there. And I don't know, I have to check to see if they were able to remove it, but you got to be careful because if it does get lodged inside there, and if it's just a very tight fit, it's basically impossible to get out. That's one thing tablets should fix. There should be a way to unscrew the tip so the nib can come out. Let's see, anything else happening here? Nothing too much. It's a quiet day. I am waiting for, I actually got a new tablet today. Not a Wacom Huion or XP Pen, but I got an iPad, a new iPad Air. Cause I had an old not even M, I had before the M1s, I had an old iPad for for personal stuff, not for 7-pen stuff. And it was just creaking along, so I decided to get a new one. So it's nice. I mean, I do like it. Yeah, just be careful. If those nibs, if you feel like it can go in, be careful. Let's see. Wacom Pro Pen nib should fit better than an S Pen nib if you want something more affordable than the Pro Pen 3 nib. I've heard on Reddit that a Pro Pen 3, nibs from Pro Pen 3, can be fitted into older Pro Pen 2. I'm not sure why. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I've heard that. What I've never understood about these, I think the newer nibs, is that how thin they are. Like Pro Pen 2, Pro Pen 3. Like, wouldn't it be better to have a thicker nib so it doesn't flex as much? Hera loves Pro Pen 3 nibs and wants all pens to be able to use them. I like Pro Pen 3, and I'm still trying to deal with Cube telling me he found higher IAF with the Pro Pen 3 than the Pro Pen 2. So I have to talk to him about if it's repeating that, which I think he is, able to repeat that measurement. My measurements of IAF have always been a bit weird, meaning with some pens, I measure the IAF that the manufacturer says, XP Pen, X3 Pro, but I've never been able to get a consistent low pressure with the Pro Pen 2 or Pro Pen 3. They always show for me like 3 gram force, 4 gram force, and even though Cube measures them at 0, like less than 1 gram force. So there's a mystery in what I'm doing. I have to figure out. Okay, I'll take a few looks at what's going on Reddit, and then if there's nothing too interesting, we can end the stream. Let's take a look though. Let's take a look at what's going on in Wacom. I finally got an HDMI DisplayPort to connect my PC to my monitor. Okay, I'll take a look at this one after the stream. Okay, I don't know why this person posted the Wacom. We're never going to be able to help him with this. Anything interesting? Fixing. Oh, this is interesting. OG Amigan. Fix crashing Cintiq drive with Huion's WinTab. I don't know about this. Let's see. Harris says maybe IEF isn't better than the lower it gets. There might be, yeah, I think you've got a point there, Hera. Like, it is so hard to talk about IEF because as you tilt, the IEF changes. Different people have different senses about it. Different tablet textures seem to give you a different sense of IEF. But some people are very sensitive. There's no doubt about that. So this person, which I don't know how to interpret this. This person has a Cintiq Pro. They installed Huion's latest driver. After uninstalled the Wacom driver, and they copied the Huion WinTab 32. And from their perspective, it seems to have solved some problem. I can't explain this. That there's no model I have in my head that would explain why replacing the Wacom WinTab 32 would, with the Huion WinTab 32, which are very different, why this would work. I have a theory, maybe. Like, I guess my question is when he's using his tablet, are the WinTab drivers being used? Because, lots of Windows apps don't use WinTab. Or at least they initially, they don't. Their default is Windows Ink. So, maybe that's the feedback I have with this person, which is to try enabling or disabling Windows Ink and seeing if the problem still occurs. Or if it still works. Interesting, though. It's really interesting. In other words, he might be mistaking the Huion WinTab being used. He might be thinking it's that, when the real reason is the app is using WinTab. But that's at least a partial theory. Nothing too interesting tonight. It's pretty quiet. Okay, I think we've got our main topics out of the way. So I think I'm going to end the stream in a minute. Let's see, Nick. You can always raise IEF by clipping the beginning of pressure curve in the driver. Yes. It's a good way to just figure out if you notice it. So I'll just hang out here for a minute, and then we'll end the stream in a bit. And actually, we've been going on for a while, like basically 2 hours. So it has been a long enough stream for sure. Okay, so I'm just hanging out for a bit to see if there's any more questions. Okay, it doesn't look like there are. So everyone, I want to thank you again for joining me on the stream. It was fun. I'm really happy that Daniel joined us because it's so rare you get a chance to talk to the developer of an app live and he's reacting and taking in feedback. And I certainly am looking forward to using this app more. So let's wish him the best of luck in earning a tidy profit from this app, and hopefully more people will use it. And let's just make sure we give him feedback, okay? Everyone, thanks for joining me on the stream, and I'll be back soon. Have a great day or night. And stay perfect. And we are done.